That's right. Welcome in. Welcome back, folks, to now that the initial rush is starting to wear off a little bit from the Clemson victory, what did this all mean, big picture, for Marcus Freeman and the Irish edition of the Always Irish Show? Voice is struggling. Forgive me. Almost went 3 hours on the radio show this morning, recorded an episode yesterday, yelled all night in the stadium Saturday. My voice is going to be rough, and I've never been happier about it. Hang with me on that. Give me a little slack. Appreciate it. YouTube, you're already here. Hit subscribe if you haven't yet. Thumbs up helps as well. Notifications on. That way you don't miss anything. Twitter, search bar, Always Irish, or at Always Irish Inc. Emails, alwaysirishindy@gmail.com. Audio only anywhere you want me. You could give me a call-in line, 312-988-15. Have your Irish voice heard and seen. Fighting Irish Wire. Tune in. Hook it up. Fighting Irish Wire. Every day, we got a lot of content going out. What happened Saturday night opens up so many interesting content angles that weren't open before. It's beautiful. Stay tuned. So, this is a show I've always wanted to have. Always. I always wanted to have this show. I begged to have this show for decades. All the Kelly era before then. This is a show I've wanted to have, never been able to have it because Notre Dame refuses to put us in a position where I'm allowed to have a show like this. So then, as odd as it is, after what happened against Marshall, what happened against Stanford, somehow we end up here dominating Clemson. And it just changes things. It changes how you see things, changes how you look at this team, changes how you look at Marcus. All right? There's just a lot that a win like this does, practically and perceptually, to how you're looked at. It took Marcus a whopping total of 9 games to get a more impressive win than Brian Kelly ever had in 11 years. 9 games. 9 games. This was a better win than anyone Kelly ever had here. Oh, John, he beat Alabama at LSU. Well, congratulations, but he was never going to do that here. How many chances did he have? Never going to do it here. So good for him. Do whatever you're going to do at LSU. He wasn't doing it here, didn't do it here, was never going to do it here, had over a decade to prove he could do it here, never did. Took Marcus 9 games, got a bigger win than Kelly got in 11. With at that time, 30 to 40 years of experience and all that. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So here's what we're going to look at. I want to look at 5 areas where I think this matters, changes things, kind of 5 positive effects that should come out of this performance. Here's number 1, Marcus Freeman credibility as a head coach. Not even just nationally, inside our fan base. I heard it all in September. He's just a DC, not a head coach. He's just a recruiter, not a head coach. Big talker, no action, will never learn, too young for the job, woke hire. I've heard it all. I've had all that stuff sent to me or told to me. A win like this provides a certain level of national credibility, no matter what else happens on the record. So, yes, it's disappointing we have 2 dumb losses and that this win couldn't parlay us into the playoff or something like that. But a win like this, even with those bad losses, still registers to show that even though you have your low end, if this is the high end, it's a very high end. And that opens eyes. So, Notre Dame's inconsistent. We've seen the low. At least if they're going to go really low, they balance it out by going really high. Kelly never did it. Marcus Freeman in year 1 has a bigger win than Kelly ever had at Notre Dame. More impressive, more dominant. Love it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. All right. So that's number one. I think that's the best win Notre Dame's had in at least 25 or 30 years. Combining opponents' rank, their record, and then the score we beat them by, most impressive in probably 30 years. Great job. So Freeman credibility as a head coach nationally and to make our fan base feel better about where this is headed. Good job. That's number one. Number two, recruiting. 60 plus players were in town for the game with their families being shown around, the red carpet, the whole deal. And it was just a special night. It all went well. Everything went our way. We played great. The energy was great. The vibe was great. Stadium was popping. It was all wonderful. Bowen in town, a whole bunch of other guys. What a great showing. It is very hard to negatively recruit against that environment and that performance. The other thing to keep in mind, multiple of those recruits, Clemson wants too. That's a double good look that they are also recruiting them, and you're in the mix like this at your place and do that to them. Beautiful. So recruiting, that's a big deal. Number three, for this year, you could still get to 10 wins. Like even with that horrible September 2 loss, if Notre Dame ends up stringing this out to go 9-3, what a great job. To go from year one, banged up quarterback, like year one as a coach, banged up quarterback, lose your first two games. If you end up getting this to 9-3, a chance to win a solid bowl game and get to 10 wins, that is a fantastic salvage job. Like that would be brilliant to pull that all together. But regular season, 9-3 is right on the table. Navy and BC, USC. So that's your short-term goal. And it would be an unbelievable turnaround. But it is very much on the table. But you had to make it through Clemson somehow to make it reality, and they did it. So you have a chance. It's not going to be a playoff game, but you have a chance to get to your 10 wins again, to keep that double-digit streak going. So that's number three. Number four, national eyes back on the Irish. The national media all but wrote off Notre Dame in 2 weeks into the season. Didn't want to talk about them, barely see a highlight on the national shows. Out of sight, out of mind, all that, whatever. Okay. And a game like this, it was all over. And it wasn't because of us. It was because Clemson was number 4 and undefeated. And what happens to them matters. So Notre Dame went from getting almost no media attention after the 2 early losses, except for more negative attention after the Stanford one. That all flipped over the weekend. And when you're talking about these big teams falling, they have to address how good Notre Dame looked. So we've been getting a lot of love, a lot of attention. Other fan bases glad Notre Dame kicked Clemson out to let their team have a chance. It's weird, some of these vibes. But there are fans of teams that hate Notre Dame that love what Notre Dame did to help them out. Michigan might be one of them. Think about it. If Clemson's out of the mix, what that could do for the playoff, maybe the loser of the Ohio State-Michigan game, I don't know. But national eyes are back on the Irish this week for good reasons. That's a plus. And number 5, and this one means a lot to me personally. Maybe it won't to you, maybe it will. The Marcus Freeman and fan bonding. It was a group moment in that stadium. And even if you're watching on TV, I was lucky enough to be there, but it was a group moment, a group bonding, a group catharsis. The scar tissue all Notre Dame fans have carried around in big games forever. Like, we were able to shed some of that all together and all be together and be proud of Marcus and him be happy for us and happy for the players and all that. And it was genuine. You know, Marcus wanted to be out there on the field. In the locker room, he came out to the tunnel and wanted to talk to the people. He said he didn't even want to leave the field, wanted to stay with our fans. Like, it's hard to put it in exact words. But as a fan, you just feel so much closer to Freeman than you ever did Kelly. You feel like you care about Marcus personally and he cares about you personally. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but it's how we feel because we like that guy so much. We think he's such a nice person with a great personality and is so genuine and communicative and in tune with everything you got to consider to be a coach, a dad, a husband, all of that. And that's a guy we all want to see win. And we're happy when he does. And he wants us to be happy. You just feel like there's a bond. It just makes you proud. I just feel more connected to the program than I ever did under Kelly because Kelly wouldn't allow it. And it's nice. It's nice. It's a familial vibe. It honestly just feels like Marcus cares how we feel and we care how he feels and want him to be successful. It's great. It was a really healthy family unit vibe Saturday, and it was good. It was good. It was, you could feel it in the blue and gold game when I came into town. And people asked, what was the vibe like? First time being there since Marcus, took over. And I said that it felt less stuffy, more laid back, more open, more free, but also under control at the same time. Not like free out of control, but free to be you within the framework of us. It just felt more family oriented. All the players coming back, 150 players being welcomed back at the tailgate I was at. It all just feels healthier. It all just feels healthier. And so this is fantastic. This is great. So listen, this win's big for a lot of reasons. It changes a lot of things. And these are five things that bumped into my mind. Freeman credibility, recruiting, salvage the rest of this year's record, national attention back on you in a good way for once, and the Freeman bond with all the fans. It was just a beautiful night. Can't ask for a better one. So what am I missing? Do you agree with my 5 bullet points here? Or is there anything I missed? Let me know, folks. Sorry about the voice. It's all I got left. It's been a long 3 days. See ya.